Okay, you guys, we're in my car today. I got the window propped up. I squeezed an inner tube around the casing of the door to keep it from falling because my windshield, my driver's side window does not go up and down all the way. Let me show you the issue I got here with this little motor and gearbox. Okay, here we go. Listen. Listen very carefully. You hear that? There's something messed up in this worm drive right here. I've had this door in this condition for about 3 months, and today's the day we're going to tear this thing apart and figure out what's going on. I happened to be in a store that was being closed down, and I found this in a box. This says 01 Buick LeSabre left front. But it's the exact opposite of the one I really need. But I bet you we can take it apart and we can get good out of this one and put it in this one. We're going to give this thing the Briggs & Kohler starter treatment. I already tested this one out. Sounds smooth. Nothing at all wrong. So we're going to tear them apart, take you into the little shed, get you all set up, and we're going to see what's going on inside of this guy. And we're going to fix him up. Going to make it all better again so I can use my window. All right, hang on. Okay, we're in the shed. There's a torque screw at the end of this worm drive right here. Then there's 4 Allen screws holding this motor to this gearbox. I'm going to take this thing apart and bring you back with me here in just a second. Underneath of this black ring here, this looks like a seal, I suspect we have one big ring gear, and this thing here is turning and causing this whole mechanism here to rotate up or down depending on the polarity you stick in the motor. So hang on, I'm going to tear this thing apart and bring you right back. Hang on. You like my little camera stand? This is the pant device I'm always talking about. I got you rigged up here. All right, let me put you in this thing. Let's zoom in a little bit. And move you around. I don't know where the focal point is for this thing. Okay, where am I at? Right here. Okay. Make sure we keep you in the middle. Let me zoom back out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to take it apart and hang on for a second. Okay, I took these 4, I thought they were Allen screws, they're torque screws out of here. This appears to be something at the moment. I might change my mind in a minute, but at the moment it appears to be something to do with the end play on this shaft. But let's take this apart together and see what kind of monstrosity we're going to get into here. You would think this would have to come with it. Oh. There's the worm. Couple of brushes because it's just a DC motor. And this. The armature. It seems to have been hitting there. Well, they might have done that for balancing. Yeah, that's balancing. All right, we'll leave that be. Because we know the problem is in here. At least I suspect it's in here. They're playing games with me. Somebody put it together. We can take it apart. It's got some kind of glue here holding this thing and this. Oops. This is kind of glued in here. See this goopy glue here. But we can take it apart. We can put something else to replace that. All right, I'm going to take this off camera here. Well, I don't even know if I need to get that off. Let's figure out what's under here. This one is the bad one, remember? I can tear this thing up all day long. It ain't going to bother me a bit. It's already broken. Got to figure out how to get this off. I don't really want to damage it if I don't have to. Ooh, don't go in there. Might break the wires. There we go. We just had to show it who was boss. Let me put something down here. I don't like to get my bench any dirtier than I have to. I'm going to finish it one of these days. It's a solid wood door. I hinge it up and down depending on whether or not I need some room. Here's the gear. There's a lot of grease on it. I bet we got to pop this cap off back here. All right, I'm going to figure this out and bring you guys back in. Hang on. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure that this is the other end of this stationary shaft. So what I'm going to do is take a punch and tell this guy who the boss is, and maybe we can get this shaft and this whole gear to move out together. The gear must go off of it in that direction. So let's try it. Let's see what happens. I give this stuff a little bit of thought, but I'm not totally prepared. We're going to do it together. This is when you need another hand. I'm going to find something to set this up on and bring you back with me. Okay, I got a couple blocks here. Let me clean up my work area a little bit. All right. We'll support this thing on these. And let's give this guy a little tap. See if it moves. Wow. That ain't working. Well, it might, but right now I'm scared to keep hitting it. Even though it don't work, I need it to hold the window up. Can't destroy it. Okay, I'm going to study it a few more minutes here and then I'll be right back. Hang on there. Okay, I figured a few things out. First and foremost, don't pound on that thing. Oh, you'll get it apart that way, but if you can look, maybe you can see it. it's starting to crack. This must be too fat to go through there that way. This beast is being held together by the clip I hate the most. I don't know how to deal with these clips. This metal clip right here, it looks like a Belleville washer, and it grabs this shaft on the way off. But it goes on easy, but it won't come off without grabbing that shaft. I have the worst time with these things. But I put this thing back in the car, and I held on to it, and I could not hold this gear. As hard as I tried, I couldn't hold it until it got to where it is right now. So there has to be something wrong with this plastic ring gear right here. So I'm going to show you how I got it apart real quick, and then I'm going to do my best to get this clip off of that shaft so I can remove that gear from both motors and just swap them. I should be able to just replace that gear instead of having to spend $100 and some odd on a whole new motor. Anybody can do that. We're trying to do something different here. Okay, when you pull this thing apart, the brushes are going to stay in this gearbox. This thing is glued in here. I've already overcome all of that. So I'm going to pull it apart and try to emulate the way it was when before I disassembled everything off camera. This brush holder will stay inside this gearbox if you decide to do this one day. That thing stays in there. And then let me take it out real quick. This black stuff has got this whole assembly glued into this gearbox. So what you want to do is just pry on it and just hold pressure on it until this cement breaks away. Cut it if you can, but wait for this stuff to just stretch and stretch and stretch, and eventually it just breaks away. Don't be in a hurry at that point in the game. And then I'm gonna try my best to get this clip off of here. These things always give me a problem. I do not know how to deal with these things. But see, this thing's now floating because I have I almost went too far in pounding that thing out of there and making this gearbox unusable. But we can still use it. See this clip? This is the one I'm talking about right here. This clip. They hold the tires on big wheels, and oh, these things give me a hard time. I'm going to fight this thing for a few minutes and I'll be back. Okay, we're back. I got this thing completely apart. I might have to go to the auto parts store. But anyways, I got it apart. This is the clip that I have so much trouble with. It looks like a Belleville washer. I've actually inverted it, taking it off of there. I've messed it up. I don't think I can recover it, but I'm going to try. Don't you worry about that. I'm going to try. Under there was an O-ring. And then this is the gear in question. Hey, looky there. Got that half. Oh, there's a coupling in here. How about that? A coupling. And here is my problem. I found it. Let me get this coupling out of here so you know, if you work in the industrial environment, these are Lovejoy coupling. There's a bunch of names for them. Lovejoy is pretty common though. And here's the problem. Let me see if I can show you this. This is the gear. It's angled. But look, pay attention to this surface right here as I rotate this. Here it comes. Here it comes. Right there. You see that? This gear has been chewed. I sure hope that's in focus for you. Right here, it's chewed in. So every time that window would make a bit of a rotation, it would go from this flatter part of the gear, and then it would dig in right here, and it chewed the plastic off of this gear. That's why the window only moved up and down a little bit. When it got right here, it would go brrrr, and it would stop moving. Okay, so the goal now is to get the other one apart and take this gear out. This gear isn't going to make a difference from one door to the other. Just the casting. This casting is the difference from door to door. So I got to get this clip off of here. I'm going to try to do a better job and save this one. I may actually just pound this center pin completely through it like that. And maybe I can save the pin that way. I got to try to squeeze this guy back down onto the end of this shaft where I tried to disassemble it in this direction. Don't do it that way. All right, I'll be back. Okay, that went a whole lot easier that time. I just drove that thing straight through the plastic gear. This is me trying to take it off, saving the clip. You see that? You see how that thing grabbed that shaft the whole way out? It clamped onto it. I inverted that clip on the way out. This one here, I tried to save the clip. I bet you if I pound that clip back on, it'll just re-invert itself and go back on there. But I'd really like to know how to remove those clips. They've plagued me my whole life. Maybe I should quit trying to do this stuff. So this is the gear we're after. Let's make sure that it looks just like this one. Same angles and all. See, this thing's not going to know the difference. It won't know which one of these it was in. Let me put this guy back together. See? This one here is good. So we just need to put this gear in the door gearbox for the right-hand door instead of the left-hand door. This gearbox. Save ourselves some money, since I got the other gearbox for free. All right, I'm going to do that, and I'll show you the window running up and down with this new gear in it. All right, hang in there. I got to turn the phone off with all these greasy fingers. Okay, I pounded the pin back. I squeezed this up where I kind of messed him up earlier, but it's pretty deep and it's knurled. This pin is knurled on this end. See that? There's some... These are knurling marks right here, where they ping this pin to get it to keep from spinning inside of this, whatever that is, pot metal, that keep it from spinning inside of that casting. It's pretty deep. Let me, yeah, that thing is, more than a ½ an inch, easily. And I just boogered up the outside of this one here before I realized that's not the way to take this apart. Pound that pin straight down like that if you decide you want to do this. I think I'm going to try this other one because he's a little bit, he's damaged in a perfect manner. I'm thinking if I just put this back on here and give him a whack, with a socket, that maybe it'll just pop the other way and still grab a hold of that shaft. Let's find out. Set you up here. Do the reverse of what we did, taking it off. Oh, it's going to remove the pin. I wasn't thinking. We got to support the pin. Maybe I need a bigger socket. Got to give that thing room to spring outward. Hate these clips. These are one-time uses, I think. All right, don't be scared. Ah, should have been scared. No blood, no harm, no foul. I didn't invert it, but I bet it holds that gear in there. I wonder if I'm a little bit tight. There. Nice and smooth. Okay, I'm going to put this together and I'll show you the thing operating in the car. Hang in there. Okay, we're back in the car. Got the motor back together. That seal just popped back in, by the way. So far, all I've needed was a hammer, a punch, a T25 Torx wrench for these guys, and a 10mm for putting the mounting hardware back in there. It's just this 3 bolts. But let's give this thing a shot before we put him back in the window. See if I can do this one-handed. I guess the answer was no. Let's wait for all the noise to go away. That clip out of your way. Nice and quiet. Okay, I'm going to mount him in here and bring you guys right back. Hang on. Okay, let me get rid of this clamp. I'm running out of battery. That has got to be driving you crazy. Key's still on. Here we go. Oh, the sweet sound of success. Now I can put my door back together. Alright, I like you guys. Come back again. Another successful job well done by me. Enjoy your day. Soggy Bottom Farm signing out.